Okay, I'm gonna give it. Oh, I love this commercial. Listen.
And this winter, you will probably need my services. If you find your car breaking down, running poorly, losing traction, or refusing to start, it's probably not a Toyota. But that's okay, because you've got me.
Now you can minimize your payments by opting for Toyota's lower kilometer leasing option on the all-new 2012 Camry. Toyota.
Okay, now I'm going to shut it off. Now what I wanted to say about that, he says that the vehicle, okay, doesn't work. And he says it's falling apart. But he's not really saying it's falling apart. You see, the message inside this commercial is it has no more heart. You must buy a Toyota. Toyota? Toy, a toy, oh, ta, goodbye, you're going down to Storyland. We are in Storyland, this is where we are. And the start of this is I'm pissed. I'm pissed, and that's what gives me an energy, because the liquid when you go to the toilet is just the same. I'm pissed because I did an 1.5-hour video, and it closed down on me. And my communication in my region, okay, everybody's running at 5 gigs or 5, whatever that number is. Do you know what? My whole neighborhood, 70,000 people. I don't know who has the same system. I'm running at 2.552. It's crazy because 5 and 2 is the reality of the creation. 5 and 2. Did I show you this? This is part of Carrie Mask. I got his name in here. It says, look. It says Carrie. This is the back of his mask. It says Carrie in there. And then you see the eyes, right? But take a look. There's a C going around this eye. And this down here is a P. It's a CP. Canada Packers. It's Carey Price. So what I'm going to work on with you right now, because I lost my page. How do you put up with me? I lose my page. I can't remember. Talking about the original 6 hockey teams. Okay, here it is. Okay. Oh, and SPANISHTRAIN. I'm almost... I did a good piece of who the ferryman is. I did a good piece of that because the ferryman is a fag, okay? Now, when he's a fag, that means his value has to be a number 5 because he fits in the hole. The center hole is the 5 hole, so you've got to look like a number 5, and that's what I was looking for now. And just a number 5, that's all I want is a 5. Give me a 5. Yeah, give me a 5. I give you 4 and 1 because the thumb is a spirit, okay? You don't, when you get the 5, you get my spirit with it if I say it, okay? This is basically it. This is a 5, okay? And this is a 2. You see, I made it turn into a 9 because I had to close the highway routes. There's no more highway routes. With the passages over here, you want to go here to here and go up to Kansas City? You want the Mississippi right over here? Highway 65, Alabama over here, okay? And our whole globe is made like this, and it starts where you would want to start it, and I'll show you how it works. Don't go away. Don't go away. You see, in most vegetables, okay, the flowering on a tomato goes up, but this, it's like a hat because it has to protect itself from the air on the outside while it grows. Because what grows in the ground, okay, is nice and orange. It's an or gold angel, a golden angel, because or is gold in French. Okay, it's a golden angel. So this is a hat on it. And the color, okay, is purple rain. Purple rain. This is what he's singing about. Okay, take a look at it. It's your kidney. Okay, the kidney passes your pee-pee. And that's the yellow energy. It's called the energy of Christ because it's Christ is a power. When he came here, it's his name is because of the machine. It's called a Christ because it's part of the universe. It's created from within the universe. Okay, what they do is they just like we take solar energy. This is the exact same thing, and they have to be lubricated. These these are also known as little brains. Because inside here, there's tons of passages. Now, maybe I can get a scissors or something. Somebody want to give me a hand? I'll give you a hand. Well, I needed was one. I had one, so any hand will do, no? So anyways, we're going to go ahead and let's cut it this way, right? Because we want to see it the long way, what happens to it. I wonder how it tastes raw. You ever taste this raw? Now look what happened. Watch this. Look what happened. I cut it right down the center. But the stem, okay, the branch can only come out one side. That's why it works on one side of our brain. But in the middle, look how open and holy it is. Okay, it's porous. Okay, porous means vibration, sound, echoes. Okay, when it's a bean, you know, it's an echo sound. So now what we want to do is we want to split it, but we don't want to cut it with the scissors because we want to see how the strands separate naturally. Because it's the naturally way the strands separate is the way they vibrate. So we're going to cut it from the rear end, just like they cut us, right? And we don't need the top. Okay, we don't. We want to know how it works. We don't want to know how it finishes off, because if you look at the top, it's solid. It's all solid information. Okay? Because it's strands and strands, all that go to one point. I mean, it's natural science. So, now you look at it, I have to break it open in front of you. Look what happens. Take a look at the inside. When I open it, okay, if my screen's right, you see this side here? Okay, and this side here, they're not the same. They're not the same. How can I show this on an angle? Can I get this on an angle? Okay, you see that? What it looks like? Now when I turn it, what's out is in, what's in is out. One side came out with all the information, while the other side, well, they're splitting apart because they have a little element inside. It's like a little snake, the Loch Ness Monster. And this element seems to split until it runs right through the back door. Anything that's got a spot on it, okay, because it's a transmittance of communication. And you have to have a spot, because where does it come in the information? Well, because you don't understand that it grows, that it doesn't have information. It has to know how to grow. It's not a, yeah, I'm going to be a big tree one day. Yeah. How about you? Yeah, me too. I'm going to be a big tree. Big tree. The bicker tree, a bick tree, a lighter tree, a lighter tree, a white tree, a ghost tree, a monopoly tree. The tree's a monopoly, the tree's a life. What am I getting to? You just cut it with a knife. But with trees, you cut them with a chainsaw. But they didn't want to cut money with a chainsaw, so they decided really not to use the trees. Because everybody news, okay, is based on the tree. The news is based on the tree. How the tree blows. Everybody blows. And the tree is the paper. And when they used to do the news earlier on, they had all kinds of paper. They wrote everything down on the paper. And without the paper and the pen, well, they couldn't write anything. They'd have to remember it all. And who can remember all the news when you can't even tell the news properly? Again, hey little buddy, look who popped up. Squirmy. Hey Squirmy, show everybody. Okay, now we're going to jump on to a little bit more fun. Okay, if you don't mind. Got to pick up my 2 books over here. And let's see where it is. It's not here, it's not here, it's not here. So I changed the page again, right? Because it has to do with the NHL. Don't go away from me. Oh, 59 seconds. I know I can do this again. But, oh, here it is. Okay, good. And there goes my mouse. I have to throw out my mouse, you know, because it's not working between me and my computer anymore. You get it? I have to throw it out because it's not working between me and my computer, in between me and my computer. And you know what? It's very important before I start to do this to tell you that if you let things linger, and especially in conversation, okay, things worsen because we think, oh my God, what? Oh my God, no. And how come you're not thinking and I'm thinking and worried all the time? How should I know she's thinking? Because we always have to think. That's who we are. We're thinkers. Okay, we go and we get what we please because we think of what we want to do and we speak our peace. So if you don't bring the peace within and the two turn around and go the other way, well, guess what? In an east-west world, if you go the other way, you ain't coming back. You know why? Because the two loves have gone south and north. So no matter what you do, you'll never find each other. Not in this jungle anyways, not today. Not with the division of the oceans, because they divided them up to separate the people so it wasn't so easy to get across. Just to remind everybody, it's not so easy to get a point across. So when you have a point to be made and it's a cross, well, it has to do with Christ. And Christ is the energy of the universe. It's horse penicillin. Okay, the horses, the Budweiser horse who wears the red rainbow, he honors his man by surrounding his neck, because Syria, okay, is the same red boat. Syria is stuck between two hard men, because before anything happened, before the creation of this world, it was Turkey that wore the hat. And Turkey in bowling is 3 strikes, so it's 30, 40, 50, 60. It counts for man, exact man. Man is an exacto, is perfect, and he's an even number. Why is man as an exacto perfect? Because when you split a 6 in half, okay, you get 2 3s, you get the number of Christ, and it's the only number that does that. No other number does that. Okay, 2 2s, a 2, you split in half, you got 11. 1 on 1 is 2. A 3 you split in half, you got 1 1/2. A 4, you got 2. Okay, a 5, a 6. Well, I'm supposed to do only even numbers, but a 6, you got 33. So now you got Christ, you can connect to both sides of the same number. And the creation of these numbers, in all actuality, I would like to show you about the letter G and what really it turns into after, because it's not a G at all. It's a lot different, and it's in pieces. And it creates every single number except for 2. Okay, but I won't repeat that right now. Now here's what we do. I found it and I lost it. How's that possible? Do you see me move anywhere? You know what they say, when the energies get strong on one side, it starts to tip. Well, my energies are strong and I'm starting to tip. So I have to pay attention a little bit more to everything, because it's just, this universe is based on 5. Okay, if we can do everything in 5, it's all in the middle. It's all 5 away from 10 and 5 away from 0. So everybody who's above 5, the universe is going to push to go back 5, because it's the element of balance. If there's too many of the same, then it's a disbalancement. So they make it harder. So every time you go forward, you're always going backwards, because we're always trying to stick as close to home as possible, which is 1. But they say if you're in the middle of the play yard, you're okay. I'm going to try and find this, because it was a really good... No. You don't mind. A little bit of time. I must do this. Why did they do this to me? Why did they do this to me? Why? Okay, check this out. Let's concentrate. Book is in my hand, and it was in the top left corner. I go 2 pages, because I'm not canceling this video. I hope it works. Impossible. I can do it off the top of my head. Maybe I should. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, not that way. I'm only going 9 pages each way. I won't go any more. And this way is none. Okay? So I'm going to take this book, and maybe it's in this book. No, okay, I'm going to do it on the thing. Where's my mouse? It's on the floor. Thank God. Thank God we trained the mouse. The only thing we can ever do, we train the mouse. Has man ever trained the mouse before? We have trained mice with red eyes in it, direct from God. This mouse sends you right up to Christ, because Christ is an energy, and the Christ energy is red. The power of the Christ energy is yellow, and that's what gives our Lord in the house of Jacob his red color. Okay, because it's not his red color. God's the Holy Ghost, because it's his place, and he never shows up, because he had to be a female to do this job. So now we know we're going to go here. Now the Boston Bruins, okay, Chicago, Detroit, Montreal, New York, and Toronto, if you draw a line, it creates the Big Dipper. It runs into, okay, Philadelphia, which is the Liberty Bell, and the New Jersey Devils. So it makes a circle, okay, it makes a circle, okay, around the New Jersey Devils. Now all you have to do is make that cancer loop and send it back to Canada, and you're in Quebec. So the original 6 hockey teams, okay, is because, like I told you, split 6 in half, and it's 3-3. Now the Canadians, okay, now we're going to start with Boston Bruins, B&B, 2-2, Boston, Massachusetts, a total of 15, BMW, Boston, Massachusetts is the egg. 1924, okay, is 4-2 is 6, is for the 6 original hockey teams. And why do they get a 6, and they're the only one that's going to get a 6? Because Boston Bruins is the second letter in each of their initials. It's 2 and 2, and 2 and 2 is 4. So they get a 4 and a 6, and the 4 is the angle of 6, making a perfect 10. The Chicago Blackhawks, okay, who are from Chicago, Illinois, which is 3 and 9, which is 12, which is a country of creation, and they are at the beginning. Their 3 first original numbers mean creation, because 2 Boston, and then we go 3 initials. We have 2 initials with Boston Bruins, but we have 3 initials with the Chicago Blackhawks. So it's 2-3 creation. And what do you want to create? If we want to create the hawk, okay, we must cut a wing off from one side, just like God cut a rib off, and you got a rib eye, and we'll make the angel. So we're going to do the number count on Chicago Blackhawks. And that would be 3, 5, and 8 would be 13, and that would be 4. 3 and 2 is 5, and H is 8 is 13. 3 and 1 is 4. But they came into the league in 1926, okay? Now 2 and 6 is 8, means heaven. Now the Detroit Red Wings are 3 initials, and they're 3 initials, okay? Because just like in Baccarat, you want to have a win-lose situation. In this situation of the original 6, you want to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or something like that. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. I'd have to mark that down after, okay? Detroit Red Wings are DR, which means the doctor of creation, because the W is the 23rd letter, and it means 2 beta, the female, okay, inside of Christ, and she's creating of the 3, us. So DRW, okay, and the letter count is 23, 33, 41. It's a total of 45. And 45 is adding from 1 to 9, and you get 45. And if you divide 45 up by the 9, you get a 5 average, okay? In which means Detroit is an element of the first creation that came out here. It's an explanation of DRW, okay? They live in Detroit, Michigan, so their placement number, which is like their last name, just like when you sign a passport, is D&M. Okay. Now D&M, D is a very funny thing. I have to do a lot of work on that because it's a special number. You can cut it up 4 times, put it together, and it makes a stop sign, depending on which letter design you use. So D is 4, and Michigan is 13. It makes 17. The one spirit, okay, of the God, 7, or of the actually it's not the God. 7 is the game. The name of this game is 7. Okay. And we have 1 day of prayer to God, and the other 6 days are God's islands, in which we rest, because we're in islands and beehives out here. We're moving, what we move down here, we move up there. But our whole life, whatever we do on this earth, is being done by bees right now, and they're creating. So the difference is that the bee, okay, is very, very tiny, and 7 billion bees. If you want to know something, if there's a scientist out there, I want to know 7.4 million bees. How much space does it take? And then go study NGC 7286 and the constellation of Pegasus. Okay, NGC 7286. If you see this, okay. So now we have Detroit Red Wings, and it says 1, Spirit of God. 1 and 7 means 8. It means the heavens. It means the heavens were created with the rings of the Detroit Red Wings, and the red is the blood. Because when she broke her water, and they bled, and he came out, and it was cut, and he cried and snapped the ass, you had to match Chicago with Detroit, the combination of CD, 3 and 4, which creates a 7, the 7 islands. And their induction is both 1926. Now, the part I didn't talk about here, okay, yet, is the 19. I didn't say the 19 year, because everything comes in pairs. Isn't that what Noah said? We bring them 2 by 2. So let's split them up, and I can use many combinations, but I'm going to use the original combination of saying 19. So before something happened, before the Canadians came, because on this diagram they're showing me that the final closing of hockey, okay, of the first original 4, which makes 4 corners, which makes a perfect square, was the Montreal Canadiens. So we had 3 1900s, 19, 19, 19. 3 19s is Heinz 57. Okay, which is the passage of the 7 islands, okay? Now that you had that with the first original teams, you now have the Montreal Canadiens. And the Montreal Canadiens, what's special about that word is in French, it means my royal, okay, king. My royal king, saluting God, and C is for creation of the Canadians. MQ for Montreal, Quebec. Okay, Montreal is the same thing, but it means my royal mountain. Quebec means the bottom and the top. Okay, MQ, M has a 13-letter count, and Q has a 17-letter count, and MQ totals 30, in which means 10 of this world, 10 of that world, and 10 of this world. The 10, 10, 10, which is the cross by heart, and then one cross a line, which gives you the angles that you're supposed to be pointing when you're a goaltender. You have to know the angles. You have 45 and then in the center. You have 45 in each, then you go to the center. That center is counted from both visions of the center. Anyways, I'm going to do MC Montreal Canadiens. 13 and 3 is 16. 16 is the one spirit of 6 God. They're opposites on a dice. A dice is one game where everything's tunneled out from the center. So M and C together, okay, the 16 makes that 7 again. But it makes a 7 where it says team, not the position of their team. It's not in the city. You see, if it says team, it means 20. It's beta world. Who's in the beta world? Let me see. And B, C, D, M, N, T are the initials of who's there. Now, these are teams. That means somebody's inside there. These are not names. These names are only alive because there's a team to be alive in. Okay, so they're all alive. They're all living. These are teams. But we see it as names, and we can't reflect off of it, of the reality of how we put together the name of the team. So Montreal comes out in 1909. But if you flip that upside down, you have 6061. Or you have 9109. And 9109, okay, is a suit in a deck of cards, and you are one team, okay? You are only 1/4 of a division. And you need 5 in a division to have a center. So there's always somebody in the middle. And that way, if you go down to 3 or up to 3, at least you're safe. If you go up to 2, you're not so bad. If you go 1 down, at least you're 2 away from the middle. So it's always a good way of looking at it. And 6016 is just what I told you. MC is 16, and right here it goes 1619. And anyways, what it really means is 19 is the spirit. And the 9, okay, is counting 1 to 9, which means life. 0 is love. It's a connection in the heart. It's not a number. Okay? Love is in the heart. It's when you connect to the royal system upstairs. Anyways, the Montreal Canadiens says, founded, joined the NHL. And then the original 6 teams, a group term compounded by the NHL for 25 seasons. Jack, you needed the 25 seasons before you jumped to the next level. So Montreal was 1909 to the first year of Boston, 1924, was 25 years. 25 years later, which makes the half season of man, you got the hippie world, okay, and 25 years later, you got 1967, and you got Montreal, and Terre des Hommes, and Man in His World in Montreal. So 1917 to 1967 is 60 years, and man is 6, and 1 and 7 is 8. Just like the 2 and 6, 1926 Detroit, 6 and 2 is 8, and the Chicago Blackhawks are 1926 and 2 and 6 is 8. You have 888. Now you get to the New York Rangers, and I'm going to jump off the front part to jump to the last part, because the New York Rangers joined the league in 1926, which makes another 8. And Toronto joined the league in 1917. They came in the same time as the Montreal Canadiens. So now you know the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs have to click and connect together because they have a number that goes together. So you make a combination of 2, and then you add in other teams, and you see what it smells like. New York Rangers, okay? So anyways, what you end up getting is 688, 8888, and remove the 6 because it was creation. It's 88888. Don't you get it? Times 2 is 1776, the independence of the United States. And she stopped just before that. They never went into Philadelphia. And they were the Flyers with the one eye. And the eye on the Flyers and their background. Okay, they may be the X-Men and the Hackets. But her background, that color choice, is a color of the sun. So they had that energy of the sun. You see, whatever you choose in your suits is what you see in your mind. And it's all in your mind because the ball is rolling in your mind, and you keep your balance with it on the outside as well as the inside. So they gave us arms and legs, but yet we don't know how to use them because our brains are so screwed up. And if you screw anything into the ice, you know it's going to make a hole, but that's okay because that's the best thing. When you play hockey, you want to have 4 holes. It's the best thing in hockey. I mean, you don't want to let anything in. But if you have 4 holes, you can hook the net onto it and you'll be safe. At least you got someone to catch you in the back. And that big old goalie stick, why do you think they make that big old goalie stick? Because it's a number. It's a number on the stick. Its shape is a number. Because of that, you see, the element of the upper part of the stick and the lower part of the stick, okay, just comprise to make the stick work to the ice. But if you take your stick and make a V on the top, you can move that stick in, and that, okay, will be your number 7. If you take that part off, you got a sword and you got a number 1. But it's got a wide angle. So when it has the wide angle, it's got the wide angle lens. I'm going to show you. So when the stick changes fashion, this is the fat ass part of the stick, right? But look, because I drew it in different colors, I got an 11. And then they came together on an angle, and I went straight again. So I got another 11. So it's the 11 that parallels the line that keeps everything straight, and they cut corners and they cross things to keep them together. So then they sell us a pair of 505 jeans. And guess what? It's the time of 505. And everything's getting to be exciting. The ball is rolling. But I don't care who steals this, I want this mask. You see, you want to steal it, go ahead and steal it. I want to see this mask on Carey Price. Okay? This is the power mask of the universe. I used all the colors that were left for me to write in. I was not allowed to use gold. I was not allowed to use silver. Okay? I was not allowed to use red. Okay? So I took the red, okay, which is the power of all, and I mixed it into Holy Ghost. And I put the power of the Holy Ghost inside the red. And we got the pink. And that's where we get the pink lady with the blonde hair. Okay? Because of this. Came into the monkey world. This is the power on the mind of the monkey world. We've got Carey Price. Who better to take us out of this world than someone who carries the price? Okay? He's carrying the price. And not only that, he's number 1 on both sides. Okay? He steps his stick here. He puts his stick here. He's in the middle. 1, 1, 1. The number is 16, 1776. There's a C over his eye, and there's a P over here, Carey Price. These are 2 jacklets. This is the fleur-de-lis. This, just to here, is the cup. It's going to show the cup. I'm trying to bring the aspect of the whole league, okay, since the beginning, when this came in, when Lord Stanley came in, because Lord Stanley is a spirit transfer. It's an angel. It's a nutritious angel. He lets you get through the passage. Okay? He gives you life in the E world, and the Y, or the Y, they say in French, means to split up. That is Lord Stanley. And this game on this earth is all about hockey, and baseball, and football, and soccer. Every sport is included, and every game is included, but everything has its own head. And why hockey is first now, because it's not really first. It was first at the beginning, and now we have to go back home because guess what? We got a game back at home, and the name of the man is Game. God Angel, Angel of the Game. The game of life where when the oil is frozen, you know it slides. But otherwise, watch out for what's slick. Because big slick in this world don't slide too good in my taste cup. Because my bitter mouth and their big slick, they don't fit together, and there's no creation in there. We're at battle together. So what I want to see is a good game on the ice. Heart and all hearts. Anyways, I'm going to end this because I have about 10 more to do. Okay, I just want to say one thing in case I lose it because I didn't write it down. Man is 6. If man was 5, he'd be indecisive. So they put him on top of 5. Okay, they made him 20% higher. So when man takes a gamble in life, okay, in football, where you kick the ball, where you're not 100% sure on the kick as much as you are in the pass or the touch or the pass off. Okay, so they give you 20%, they take it back from you when you gamble. Man is 6 just to be above that, because if he falls below 6, below, if he goes to 5 and falls below it, he's 4 point something. Okay, and everything starts at 5 because 4 point something is owned by the 4. Man is in the middle of everything, but he's 6 in the middle of everything. Perfect angel is 4 because it's only for communication in the gray zone, and that's why you have Gray's anatomy. And the spade and the club, the spade and the diamond are both 5s. Okay, they're average 5s because they're in between both sides, because the body of man and woman is all the same. It's only the add-ons that are different. Okay, and the reason why the diamond is a 5 because he's a spirit in everyone and he travels all together. Now their individual values are different because the diamond is worth 2.5. 2.5 plus its 5 value is 7.5. 7.5 angel 5.7 man crosses over to the other side and comes 7.5 angel, which tells you the Hebrew year of 5775, the month of October, first week. Why the first week? Why am I so hot on the first week? Because the Mayans say the first 5 days of October are unlucky with a 360-degree angle around. We end up losing, if we had to go 1 degree, okay, every day, 360 days, we'd go around, but we'd be missing 5 degrees. We'd have to go 5 degrees more. So now you have to take that 5 degrees or 5 that's missing, okay, the difference of the 5 days divided by the 365 days to see how many actual minutes we're missing. Those minutes, okay, in totality, if I'm not wrong, should add up to the total minutes, okay, of one of man's years. That's why the clock goes around, because it's a new year. So the 5 days that are missing, based on 0.25 degree movement of the Earth every single minute, based on 365 days, how much did we move, and we'll find out what's the difference between going around and 360 degrees. That should give you the answer with the VIG. There's a VIG in this world. There's a take. There's an in and an out and a start and a stop, so everything costs something. So that's 360 degrees versus 365 in the leap year 366. And that's one of the reasons the Mayan had 18 and 20 days a month. I think it was 18 days a month and 20 because 18 was the first half of Monopoly. It was the first half of life where they came from. And sorry about that. I'm smoking Demorier tonight. I really don't like them anymore, but it's a red pack. If I'm smoking yellow and red together, I know my energy's in space. And this is the best way to send the message to God, is through smoke. Like the Indians did. They weren't stupid, you know. So now I forget where I was. We were talking about the 5 and the 6. Yes, so the diamond gets 2.5. And the reason for the diamond getting 2.5, because when you stretch a diamond out, you can touch the north and you can touch the south. But the east and west gets squeezed in, so the value changes. You get a full value north and south, one east. Well, okay, now you draw a line in between the east and west, and it's squeezed together. You know what I'm saying? It's squeezed everything together. And this is our world right here. Why it looks round? Because when it spins, okay, the whole thing becomes round. Okay, our Earth is round, but the rest of it is not actually round. It's cut corners. It's squarish. Just like, man, we do the square dance. I was talking about, okay, so the diamond, okay, north-south, 1, 1 is 2, east and west, 1/4 and 1/4. Why? There's 4 jacks in the world, 1/4 each equals 1, okay? But one of the jacks is a body, okay? So he gains the spirit inside the heart, okay? Now the club is only the brain, so she gains her spirit from the diamond, right from the diamond, so they're each 1/4, okay? The heart, the spade is valued, I never even thought of this, the spade is valued at 2. The spade is valued at 2 for female and male. That's why he's a fag, and he's holding up, that's, oh my God, where is the jack? Show me a jack, please give me a jack, please give me a jack, give me a jack. Okay, I don't want this video to go out. So the diamond is 2.5, okay, the spade is 2, but the heart, okay, is only 1/4, and the club is only 1/4, okay? So you end up, because the club and the heart is the brain and the body together, and man's the heart with the body of the spade on this earth, and the spade is black because you don't see him, and he's inside of you. We're all the X-Men. So what we have is heart is worth 6.25. Spade is worth 0.25. Now listen to this, because this is incredible. I break history with this one. Listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, heart is 6.25 and spade is 2.5 because it's the spade in the heart. Forget about the mind because he's inside of us. Okay, okay. Now, if you, no matter which way you look at it, now you either take, you only can get one spade. Either you take the club spade, or you take the hearts, or you take the spade or the club. You have a choice: the heart and the diamond. Okay, but the diamond. Okay, and here it is. Spade can only use these numbers. Heart uses this numbers. Club uses these numbers. Okay, 25, 625. The Mayan count. SC, 19, 22, 30, 34. The angles of Christ. HD, Heaven Divine. SC, Southern California. What do they say in Southern California? What are the songs about Southern California? Because that's what's going to tell you. Okay, I just made a new discovery. You know what? We're going to end this now, and I'll bring that on after. Please vote. Please say yes. If you like anything, if you think it's funny, if you think it's TV, for me this is very serious. Okay, me getting this out feels great, but if it doesn't get, it gets out. But if it doesn't get across, then what good is it for getting out? I need the echo to come back to me, because once that echo comes to me, I tilt up. I must stay up to get this information, or the ball closes, and I can no longer get in. I need the support, and I will know because it's an element of the game of Urantia. We go around and come around, okay? Because when we go one way, the other part is going another way to keep everything balanced. So we're always going around. And when you go halfway around, you went all the way around. Just look at this. I'm just going to spin this once. You went all the way around because you're on both sides. You went all the way around. You're on both sides. So the half value, okay, of the combination of the club and heart, okay, is half. And because they go halfway around, they don't have to go the other way. The other way, they're protected by the world underneath, the Urantia. So what happens is they become a whole again. And if they become a whole again, once you become a whole, you got a passage. And now we can enter into the next world, because that hole led us as a snake right through. And the Loch Ness Monster is now history. 7286, NGC 7286. Check out Pegasus. We're in the last of times of Aquarius. The doors are closing and the new times are moving on in. It's time to select and vote. Please be my friend. Please be my friend. But only be my friend inside your heart. Because if it's for any other reason, forget it. And what it means by being a friend inside my heart, it means for the goodness of just helping me out. You did it because you really don't care, but you became sympathetic at the time. And that's how we vote. It's the sympathetic urgence in us that when you see someone shouting out for goodness, that you just give them a little tap on the back and say, hey kid, better luck next time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You don't have to believe. You just have to understand that I lean on you, you lean on me. The roots of the trees and the strength of the trees are the strongest thing you will ever have. Watch Harry Potter and the trees that walked in the forest. As the brick split and the train rode on in, Zorro has come to town. But he's not wearing black and he's not riding no horse. Why? And he's not got no face mask. Because I'm live and I'm free. And that's a song. You see, I get a lot of my energies, you know, it just keeps tumbling on top of each other. It's that when I listen to all the music and I put it together with the other music, then you know what the station is, you start to get the difference of in between. And when you start to understand the difference of what's in between, well, you know what? Things start to touch you. Because if you move in between to a space that's empty, imagine if that space was jelly and you moved in between. You'd feel the side on you, but the side that's on you is touching another side. So you get the elements of both sides, even if you're in between and you're not touching, because you actually are